Hey, what's up friends? Moses here from Driver Success. I hope you guys are doing well. I just want to share with you a simple recipe of making tuna cakes that you can take to work. Whether you call them tuna cakes or tuna patties, making them is really simple. But before we get to the recipe, let's talk about what not to do if you ever take tuna or any kind of fish to work. When you are warming up fish in the microwave at work, you need to be very mindful of others, because really, unless you are the one eating the fish, if you are not the one eating the fish, that fish in the microwave smells nasty. The reason why I personally like tuna is to do with protein. For those of you that have tried out the MyFitnessPal app and tracking macros, as I told you that I started trying to figure out what macros I need and trying to track them. And one of the things that I've realized is that it is very easy to get in the fats and the carbohydrates. I actually exceed my carbohydrates and my fats. But when it comes to protein, it's almost impossible for me to get in the protein that I need in a day. So I try to look for foods that are rich in protein that can be able to amp up my protein levels. And again, the reason I like protein is because I don't want to lose my muscles. So as much as possible, I try to look for foods that can give me protein. And the foods there that give you protein, they will somehow have like maybe fat in them, and maybe they will have carbohydrates. Like beans will give you proteins, but they have a lot of carbohydrates. Eggs will give you proteins, but they also have fat. So just getting mere protein can be a challenge. And I find that tuna is one of the good source. Like it really is a good source of protein, and that's why I love making the tuna patties or tuna cakes, whatever you call them, because they're kind of, instead of just eating tuna as it is, it's kind of like spicing it up. So for this recipe, I did use 2 tins of tuna. Just make sure that you drain them, and then 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. I used 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of basil, and I also used 1 teaspoon of parsley. And then for the mustard, I used Dijon mustard, 1 tablespoon. You can use yellow mustard. I used avocado mayo. You can use regular mayo, 1 tablespoon. Then I put in 1 cup of breadcrumbs, and just mix those all together. And then after mixing them together, I put in 2 eggs, and then continue mixing until I got this kind of consistency. I set my oven at 350 degrees, and then you just put the tuna onto the baking sheet, and then into whatever size you want. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna start shaping them into patties. Just make sure that you don't make them very thick, because you want them to kind of be a little, I don't know if I should say crunchy, not really crunchy, but you don't want them to be so soft. So you kind of don't want them to be so thick. So you just shape them accordingly. And then all I used was I sprayed some cooking spray on top of them, put them in the oven for 15 minutes, and then I took them out, turned them, and then made another 15 minutes on the other side, and this was the final product. This is when everything was done. So I'm here waiting for my truck to come in. My sleep seat is about 15 to 20 minutes away. That's what the office told me. They were asking me if they should get me another truck, but most of the time I get bad luck when they give me another truck, because they give me a truck that is really dirty, which means I have to wipe it down to clean it for me to use it. So since he's about 15 to 20 minutes away, I opted to wait for him. So my first drop is gonna be in Roanoke. It's a 2-stop, which means it's a drop and hook. And then I'm gonna take the load I pick up to Wiley, and then from Wiley I'm gonna go to Dallas, make a delivery, and then we'll see what they will have me do after that. I went to Wiley, picked up a load, brought it back here in Dallas. I'm at Dr. Pepper. I know it's late, it's now dark, so I will catch you guys in the next video. Until then, stay blessed and stay safe. Bye-bye.